Why learn to create text-based art? It allows you to add imagery to text-based games. For example, we'll use ASCII art to draw the man in the gallows in the Hangman project later in this text game series. In this lesson, you'll get a chance to get creative with typable text characters. But first, I'll show you a more streamlined method for assigning a superclass to a class. Hi, I'm Annette Gotland. I'm the author of the Do-It-Yourself Java Games books. I teach Java programming through creating games. Welcome to the video version of my books. We're currently in the Text Games video series, TG, the first of 4 types of games series. The focus of this series is to cover the fundamentals of Java programming. This series has 16 projects. We're now starting the second project, TG2 ASCII Art. In this project, you'll learn to produce some text drawings and how to share any of your finished programs with others if you so choose. This is lesson TG2.1. You'll learn a second way to specify the superclass and make some creative art all through print statements. Before doing this lesson, be sure to download textgamesresources.zip from www.gotlandsoftware.com DIY Java Games. The Text Games Resources zip file includes a DIY window used in all the text game projects. Extract the files into your Eclipse Workspace folder as instructed in the setup video. The DIYWindow class is in the file I just asked you to download. DIYWindow allows you to print to a window instead of the Java console. In lesson TG1.2, I showed you how to extend a pre-existing Java class to use DIYWindow as its superclass. In today's lesson, we'll specify the superclass as you create the project and the class, so you don't need to add it later. Follow along as I create the ASCII Art project, package, and class. As you create programs, remember that the project name, package name, and class name look very similar, but they follow slightly different naming conventions. For the Java project name, start each word with a capital letter. Use a space between each word. For the package name, use all lowercase letters, no spaces between words. And for the class name, start each word with a capital letter, no spaces between words. Last time, I instructed you to click Finish after entering the first page of project options. This time, I wanted you to click Next so you can add the DIY Java jar file to the class path as you create the project. Let's create the ASCII Art project. Right-click in the Package Explorer, choose New Java Project. We'll name the project ASCII Art, A-S-C-I-I space A-R-T. I'm going to use the default location, the default JRE, separate folders, but not the module info Java file. This time we're going to click Next. And from here we can choose Library. Select the class path, add external jars, choose DIY Java jar, click Open. Now when we click Finish, we'll have added the ASCII Art project to our workspace. Next, create an ASCII Art package in the ASCII Art project. You must give the package a unique name. I used annette.gotland.asciiart for my package name. So right-click on the ASCII Art project, click New Package, and I'm going to name it annette.gotland.asciiart. You should give it your own unique name. It should be all typed all lowercase with periods instead of spaces. You do not need to select Create Package Info Java. Click Finish. The Package Explorer pane now shows the package you created in your ASCII Art project. Next, let's create the ASCII Art class. For the Hello World class in lesson TG1.1, I instructed you to just click the Finish button after filling in the first page of class options. but this time I want you to click the Browse button next to the Superclass field so you can set the Superclass before you click Finish.
Finally, let's create the ASCII Art class. We'll right-click in the package that we just created and choose New Class. We'll enter ASCII Art for the class name. Note, don't put any spaces in here. ASCII-ART. Leave the modifiers as shown. And down here, we're going to click for the stubs that we want to include are the main method and the constructors. This time we'll also want to add the superclass. We'll click Browse. The class that we want to include is DIYWindow. You can just start typing it. It'll start bringing up some choices to choose from. DIY. I already got down to 2 choices. I want you to choose DIYWindow. Click OK, and then click Finish.
Eclipse will create code for the ASCII Art class that looks like this. Note, it added extends DIYWindow to the class definition and added the import statement for the DIYWindow class for you. In all my lessons, remove the comments that Eclipse automatically generated for you. I'm not going to demonstrate how to create projects, packages, and classes in future lessons. We'll pretty much follow the same steps as this demonstration for every project. Please watch this video again if you need help remembering how to create them. It's time to create some ASCII art. ASCII art is a picture made from characters that can be typed on a computer keyboard. The first step you'll be asked to perform for almost every class will be to add code to the main method to call the ASCII art constructor. Remember, as was covered in lesson TG1.1, the main method is always written as public static void main string args. The class constructor is named the same as the class and is declared as public ASCII art. A constructor is called by using new followed by the name of the constructor and parentheses, new ASCII art. Every Java program runs the main method first. The main method calls the class constructor in all my games. In exercise 1, your program will draw a large letter H made from H characters. Add code to main to call the ASCII art constructor. Add code to the constructor to print a large H. Run it. It should have printed a large H. In exercise 2, create your own initials in large letters. I drew AMG from the characters A, M, and G. Change the program to print your initials in large letters. Run it. It should have printed your initials. You can create more than just initials with the characters on your keyboard. In exercise 3, we'll draw a winter scene. Replace the code in the constructor exactly as shown to print a winter scene. What happened? You should have gotten a syntax error because of an invalid escape sequence. Remember, in lesson TG1.4, we discussed the need to use the escape character, a backslash, in strings to handle special characters in strings. /n in a string will cause anything that follows it to be printed to a new line. /double quote can be used to include a double quote in a string. // can be used to include a backslash in a string. In exercise 4, we'll fix the escape character syntax error. Add an extra backslash after each backslash that is in the drawing. Run it. What happened? It should have printed the winter scene to match the scene you originally typed in the program. Here are more sample images created from typable characters. For any ASCII art images you try to create, I recommend that you simply type it in initially without using the escape character, just so you can verify all the characters line up the way you want. Then add the escape character later to get rid of the syntax error. In Exercise 5, choose any of the designs I've shown or make up one of your own to draw your own ASCII art. Be sure to add the escape character for any double quotes or backslashes in your drawing. Now, make some of your own designs using typable characters. Key points and more. Superclass Method 2. For project TG1.1, we created the class first, then added the superclass later. We had to configure the build path for the already existing project by adding the DIY Java jar file to the class path as an external jar file. Next, we had to type in the code for our class to extend the DIYWindow class. This created a syntax error, so we used Quick Fix to tell it to add the import statement to import the DIYWindow class. In this lesson, we let Eclipse add the superclass details as we created the project and the class. Instead of clicking Finish after finishing the first page of options for the new project, we clicked Next to get to the second page of project options. That took us to the page where we could configure the build path. We told it to add the DIY Java jar file to the class path as an external jar file. Then, when we created the class, we used the Browse button to specify the superclass. This opened a window where we could select the name of the class to use as the superclass. If we typed in just DIY, we saw and selected the DIYWindow class as a superclass option. Then, when we clicked Finish on creating the class, Eclipse already added the code to the class definition to extend our class with DIYWindow and added the necessary DIYWindow import statement. Key points and more. ASCII Art. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII has a standard numeric code for each character that can be displayed on an electronic device. This ensures that all electronic devices show the same character for each code. ASCII Art is a picture made from the characters that can be typed on a computer keyboard. Very nice pictures can be made using just typable characters. More ASCII Art images can be found at www.asciiart.eu. Don't forget to use the escape character if you want to print a double quote or a backslash. Here are the completed listings for all the exercises in this video. This is the end of the first lesson in the ASCII Art project. You should now be able to easily create the text games projects, packages, and classes to use DIYWindow as a superclass. I hope you enjoyed creating a little art in this project. I chose ASCII Art as this project because I was looking for an easy beginner project that you might want to share with someone else. In the next lesson, I'll show you how to export any project out of Eclipse so you may share them with friends to run on their own computers.